Today, I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know in order to survive in LEGO Fortnite's brand new expert mode, or better yet known as hardcore mode, because if you die one time, your world is done for. To start things off, when you create your brand new expert mode world, you wanna press in the seed number and make it number 7. The reason why you do this is because of the locations of each and every biome on the map. This is going to give you the best opportunity to succeed in this new mode because you have the snow biome directly next to the grass biome, which is connected to the dry valley biome and the shore biome, all in one small area. I believe this has the closest distance to it, which makes it extremely easy to place down your villages. Now, I found this image on Reddit that actually shows you the full layout of what seed number 7 looks like. And you could see this yellow star is your starting point, and if you head just north, you'll notice that you could put yourself directly in between the dry valley and the snow biome while being connected to the grasslands and the shore biome. So placing any type of village hut right here, and then following that up with 3 more village huts in this spot, and this spot will absolutely give you the best opportunity to take advantage of all 4 biomes and all 30 villagers that you can hold. Now, another thing that you want to look out for when placing down your first village hut, or all of the village huts that you'll place, is to find yourself a broken down NPC village. This is going to go ahead and give you the most amount of flat land. So what I found was this broken down house, and when I run around it, you'll see that all of this land is very flat. If you place this anywhere else on the map, what you'll find is that you have ridges, hills, and different things of that nature, and it actually makes building any type of builds in your game just a little bit harder. This makes it so much easier, which is why you want to place your builds in areas just like this. Now, there's a lot of free buildings in this game, and the way to unlock them is actually to go into all 4 biomes and upgrade those village huts. So because I found this really flat land here in the grasslands, I'm going to make this a green color with a house just to mark it down as a grasslands village. You can name this whatever you guys would like as well using the randomized name button, and once you have done that, you just want to use the hub in order to upgrade this village hub. When you look inside of your reward section, you'll notice that in every single level you get brand new buildings as you progress in this hub. Now, here's every material item and how many you're going to need in order to progress this from level 1 all the way to level 10 in your grasslands village. The 2 most difficult things to find on here is going to be the amber and then the obsidian. Amber are going to be yellow rocks that are found inside of the dry valley area, and obsidian are the blue rocks that are located inside of the dry valley caves. Now, you want to do this inside of your dry valley biome as well, as this is going to offer you castle style builds. Once you have finished up your dry valley biome, you're then going to switch over and go to a snow biome or a frostlands biome and start progressing this one as well. Once you have done that, you're going to unlock these very nice blue type of builds inside of the frostlands. And once all 3 biomes have level 10 village huts, you should unlock nearly every free build in the game. Now, here's every unlock to go along with the dry valley to upgrade this from level 1 all the way to level 10. The most difficult item to find in here is going to be ruby. However, every single item in order to upgrade this from level 1 up to level 10 can be found inside of the dry valley or inside of its caves. You do not need to go to any other biomes. Now, as far as the frostlands biome goes, this one is one of the more difficult ones to level up from level 1 all the way up to level 10. However, most of these items can be found inside of the frostlands biome. However, some of these items can be carried over, such as the obsidian slabs and the copper bars from the previous dry valley or grassland biomes. So once you've got all 3 of these biomes up to level 10, what you'll notice is that you have every fishing dock, log cabin, majestic manors, pleasant park, shogun palace, and starter shacks completely unlocked, meaning that you have access to place these anywhere on the entire map. Just because you unlock the build in a specific biome doesn't mean that you can't use that and any type of parts with it in any of the other villages. But we're not done just yet with the free bases or free builds that you can unlock just by playing the game. Next up, you're going to go ahead and try to find a rebel cave. Now this should be located very closely to your original spawn point. Once you enter into this cave marked with that rebel logo, you can progress all the way through to the outside exit. Now once you've come inside of here, keep in mind there are no enemies in here, but they do have a ton of resources. So feel free to sprint all the way through until you find another entry or exit way. Once you have gone out that extra exit, what you're going to do is just run as far north as you can until you see the new village area. This should show up extremely close to this cave, so you shouldn't have to worry about getting too lost. Once you found this area, what you're going to do is just repair it, rebuild it, and start gaining some of those extra free builds. You're going to have a brand new village hub here that you're going to want to upgrade, and that's going to give you a ton of Lego Star Wars collab build items. Now, villagers are going to be extremely important, so you need to remember that you can have between 5 and 7 villagers per village. Right now, you can see that in this village right here, I have 7 total residents. I now have 7 villagers inside of this area, which now means that I could also have 3 more animals to give me additional resources. Another thing that is extremely important is to keep them on their jobs. If you go into that residence area, you can also see what job they're working on. So I have every single one of my 7 villagers right now working on the chef job, making sure that they're going to give me food, so I do not need to go out and do that by myself. Now, when it comes to your villagers, it plays back into that tip I gave you earlier about making sure that you set up all 4 biome villages extremely close to each other. Considering that you can have 7 total villagers at each and every one of these means that you have 28 players working on jobs for you. So essentially what that means is if you go ahead and make the grasslands base your main area, you can then travel north to both the dry valley and shore biome, and then back down south to the Frostlands biome and collect resources from all 28 villagers on all 28 of their jobs. That's going to make the game extremely easy for you because as you collect the resources from them, that means you don't have to leave your area, which means that you're a little bit safer and also means that you're less at risk of running into any enemies that'll kill you and end your entire world. Now, next to the villagers, I believe that your organization and your efficiency areas are just as important. What you guys should do is next to every single one of your work areas, you should have corresponding chests that go with the materials that should be inside of it. So if you guys have a spinning wheel, things such as silk and vine should be located in chests nearby. And when you have something like a stone breaker, things like granite and marble should be close by. Every single one of your work areas should have a chest that has both of the items that not only go into that area, but also come out. Being extremely organized is a big part of this game that definitely gets overlooked as people try to progress through the game a little bit too quickly. If you can get yourself extremely organized, that's going to make the game very easy on you. Now, farming is also extremely important because it gives you a really nice food resource. Even though you do have your workers to do this for you, the food resource is absolutely going to be huge when it comes to your animals, which provide you a ton of materials and stuff that you're going to need inside of your survival mode. What I recommend doing is placing down a ton of plots and then going ahead and planting some of those seeds in. Once those seeds fully grow, you can then turn them into the grain mill and double or triple the amount of seeds that you get in return, making it so you have a gigantic farm for all of your animals. Now, the animals are actually just as good as villagers in this game, as they provide you a bunch of materials and food items at a very fast rate, even faster than what some of your villagers work. Now, in order to keep your animals happy, what you need to do is have one villager assigned to the job of taking care of them, place down a rug around them, also a hay bale, and then also some water supplies. As long as you're feeding them, putting them on job, and have water nearby, they're going to remain happy and work very fast for you. Now, as I mentioned, they are extremely important. Something that they give you is really just about everything. And like I said earlier, they give you stuff extremely fast. So things such as heavy wool, spicy burgers, fried eggs, and slurp mushrooms are just some of the things that you can get from all of these animals. Animal treats are also a treat that you can give these animals in order to keep them happy. But the amount of materials and items that they give you in return for some of these simple jobs or simple things that you feed them is extremely nice and useful in this game. Using your animals to the best of your ability is truly what's going to make this game extremely easy for you, as honestly, they work a little better than what regular villagers do. Now, in order to not waste any materials while you guys are playing this game, you want to try to take advantage of the chests that you can find out in the wild. A grand chest in the Frostlands biome will give you frost pine, and then it'll also give you iron bars. Inside of the dry valley caves, you can find copper bars and obsidian slabs from the large chest, and even on the smaller ones that you find inside of the grasslands area, you can find some materials there. So it doesn't make any sense to waste any bright core or waste any materials throwing these into machines when you can simply break the chest out in the wild and get the items in return just from breaking them. Now, a great way to get the most out of your farming is to take a look at your triple damage pickaxe and swing that at an object first, and then switch into a triple luck pickaxe to finish that item off. What that's going to do is increase the odds of you getting double the amount of materials back. So what I'm going to do is weaken the ruby with that triple damage pickaxe and then switch to the triple luck pickaxe to try and get even more materials back in return. Now let's talk about fishing, as this is something that seems pretty boring in the game, but it is actually extremely important. In order to start off, you're going to need a common fishing rod, which can be made with a wooden rod, cord, and wolf claw. You can go ahead and progress and get even better fishing rods, which just gives you better rarity on the fish that you collect simply by using different rods. The reason why it's very important to fish is if you actually go into the charm section of your workbench, you could find the illuminator charm. You're going to need 5 thermal fish in order to unlock this. The illuminator charm is one of the best charms in the entire game, as it gives you those floating little bugs above your head that keep it light even without a torch in your hand. Now you actually need another piece of equipment in order to fish properly, and that's going to be the food processor, which takes plank, bones, wooden rod, and granite. Now that's going to allow you to create yourself some bait buckets, which is going to increase the rarity that you could pull using that fishing rod. So once you have caught a few basic fish with your basic fishing rod, you can go ahead and throw one of these fish inside of the food processor and get yourself a fish fillet. Using that fish fillet, you could actually get yourself a bait bucket. Now you could also have villagers give you bait bucket as well if you put them onto a fishing task. Once you have gotten yourself that bait bucket, you're going to create a juicer. And with a juicer, you will get new requirements in order to make even more rare bait buckets to unlock more rare fish. Now once you've done all of this, you can go in and you can grab yourself one of your fishing rods, and then you could also get yourself your bait bucket. Keep in mind, the better the bait bucket and the better the fishing rod, the better the odds are that you're going to pull a legendary fish. Throw that bait bucket into the water and then throw in your line. Once you've done this, it's just going to pull up an icon for you to press in order to reel in the fish. There's a few tricks to this, like if you dodge, move backwards, press any buttons, or switch your inventory spot, you could actually speed up the process and skip the animation of pulling anything out. That's just going to allow you to fish a little bit faster and make it so you're not standing out in the wild for too long. Now here's an image that shows you every single fish in the game and where they can be caught. One of the more important ones is actually going to be the purple thermal fish, which you guys can see can be found inside of the Dry Valley lakes, the Dry Valley shore, and then the grassland shore. So if you guys are looking to get an illuminator charm to help you out on your journeys, those are going to be the 3 locations that you should be fishing at the most in order to try to get that fish to unlock that charm. Now I want to talk about different charms in the game and the effects that they have that can actually help you out. What I currently use in game is 3 regeneration charms. These are the most overpowered charms in the game, but after this update, this is going to be extremely difficult to get. When it comes to these, it actually regenerates your health over time, gives you plus 14 armor and plus 5 health. So you can see that I'm hungry right now, but I have a ton of hearts and 42 armor. When it comes to regeneration charms, the thing that makes them so nice is that you don't have to eat and you don't have to worry about taking damage to different temperatures in the game. However, that is something that they are probably working on fixing. When it comes to this mode and it comes to all of the charms that you can make, the best ones to make is going to be 2 times inner fire charms, 2 times regeneration charms, and 2 times cool-headed charms. The reason why you're going to do this is because it is the most effective way to play the game. If you're going into the Frostlands biome, having 2 inner fire charms and 1 regeneration charm is the best stack to have. If you guys are going into the Dry Valley, having 2 cool-headed charms and 1 regeneration charm is the best way to play. Having 2 of a temperature and then 1 of a regeneration charm ensures that you're not going to take damage when you guys are inside of these caves, and you're going to be able to run around that area without having any fatigue. Now, transportation is also very important. You could take the risk of building yourself an air vehicle and run the risk of falling out to your death. However, as somebody that's a little bit more realistic with the state of the servers, I believe that running around with grapples and a glider is the best way to play this game. Right now, if you go into your crafting bench and then you go over into your tool section, you'll see the glider can be made with flexwood rods, wool fabric, and silk fabric. All of those items can actually be given to you by villagers, which makes it incredibly easy to unlock that item. That same exact thing can be applied over to the grappler as well, as you could earn yourself cord and copper bar from your villagers. And if you guys play in an area near the shore biome or dry valley, all of the skeletons will drop your blast powder. So in order to do this in the most effective way possible, I recommend making your main base on the shore biome or on the dry valley. That way you can get your blast core. When it comes to the villager jobs that you want to place your villagers on, if you go into your Let's Talk jobs, help villagers, when you go to your resource section, going ahead and doing collect nearby resources can get you cords and or vines that can create the cords. Doing refined wood can get you those flex wood rods. And if you go into the something else area and go into the refining jobs, the create textiles area and the smelt metal will give you the copper bars and both fabrics. The only thing that you're going to need is blast powder, and that can be given to you by all of the skeletons that spawn in around your base that you kill, and they will drop that blast powder for you, which makes it extremely easy to make mobile areas on your map. Now, the Star Wars village is one of the best villages or best areas of the map. The reason is you have a bunch of caves on here that are unlooted, and once you kill all of the enemies in them, you have free reign to all of the loot inside of them. Another thing that you get is a lightsaber, which may be the most overpowered weapon or item in this entire game. When it comes to farming, you could actually use a lightsaber along with your triple luck pickaxe instead of wasting a triple damage pickaxe. The way that the lightsaber works is it not only does damage to enemies, but also does damage to items, and it doesn't have durability, meaning it will never break. If you use all of the charge on it, it just recharges, and after 10 minutes, you can continue to use it again. Now, the Star Wars caves really became the most valuable caves in the entire game because of the fact that they added ruby onto them. Now, one of the nicer things about these caves is that once you clear out the enemies on it, they will no longer spawn in this area. So in this cave in particular, I cleared out this entire thing, killed every enemy that was inside of here, which now means that when I come over to this area, I could actually farm all of the bright core, all of the obsidian, and now after the new update, I could farm all of the ruby inside of these caves, and I do not have to worry about any enemies coming in my area. So these are by far the most valuable caves to come into and farm, as you get unlimited amount of loot inside of here without absolutely anybody coming to attack you. Now, when this update drops tomorrow, I'm sure that there will be some information that I will need to cover to really help you guys even more, and I'll make sure to drop even more videos every single day to make sure that you guys have the most help possible. This mode is going to be extremely hard, but I believe that with this video in general, you guys should be able to master this mode extremely fast. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment anything down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer every single question that you have. Making you guys the best players in the game is my absolute goal here, so I hope that all of you have fun with this brand new expert game mode, and I hope that all of us have a great time while playing Lego Fortnite.